What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, let's jump right in. Now, this episode is definitely an important one. Now, I think almost all of us have been here before. For whatever reason, we as humans, no matter how well the situation may be going, no matter if we even started or attempted to try something different or go after something, or especially if the situation has a negative thing happen in it, we tend to always assume the worst. We always assume something wrong is going to happen. We always feel that something is going to mess up, that things will be hard, that things will turn out negatively. Or another thing we do, when we realize and recognize that things are going good for us, that they have actually been good, we start waiting for the bad to come. As if there's this rule that says you can't always have a good thing. Who said that things can't always go well? Like it's this universal law. Where does that come from? We have this deep internal fear of always looking for something to go wrong or bad as a way of survival. That's what our brains look for. No matter how well things are going, especially if things happen to be going bad, we're always waiting for the next thing to come out of nowhere and punch us in the face. And I prove it. Now, I don't have kids, but I see this so many times. And maybe you've done this, especially if when your kids were really young and you're at that stage where you truly just enjoy watching your kids sleep. And you feel all the love and joy of being a parent, and you feel all the love for them. That's your baby, and you feel all the feels, right? Then you think to yourself, what would I ever do if I lost them? Have you ever been in this beautiful moment of just absolute love, and you think to yourself, I hope I never lose them. I hope they can stay healthy. Have you done that? And maybe you don't have children. Maybe you've been in a relationship with somebody, and it was going good. It was new. You're both having fun and enjoying your time, and then you randomly think to yourself, I hope I don't mess this up. Or I wonder what it's going to be like in our first argument. Or I hope they don't do me wrong. You ever been in that situation when you're just waiting for something negative to happen? Now, what that is doing by letting these imaginary moments that haven't even happened yet take up space in our minds, it's literally pulling yourself away from a beautiful present moment and ruining it for your happiness in life. By not just being present and enjoying the good and what's happening for you now and expecting the bad, you're robbing yourself and destroying happiness. In those moments, you should be the most present because those moments are necessary and should be savored. And again, should be the most present times in your life. So why do people feel this way? Where does it come from? It has to be something we've learned, right? Something that's part of our nature, that's inside our brain. This comes from what's called a scarcity mindset. The mindset of thinking that something negative is bound to come because there isn't enough good to go around all the time. Where did we learn that, right? When did this become how we identify life and happiness? One of the most common phrases we hear, or at least some version of it, is the notion that to have success or to attain anything good during your journey, you have to take 3 steps forward and 1 step back. Or you have to take this many steps forward and this many steps backwards. There's always this forward and back, forward and back. And yes, what's true is that you will have setbacks. I talk about that all the time. And those are to be expected. But the most important thing is perspective. Perspective and perception. The quote unquote back, you feel the step back is all perception. The step back could just be a redirection in the correct way you should be going. What it could be, and how you should look at it, is a detour of getting you on the right path you really need to be on. The universe could be saying, maybe it's time to pivot. Pivoting towards your right path. Because if there's one thing I always say, is that your path is unique and your path is your own. Think about that step back like this. Like when you shoot a bow and arrow, you have to pull that arrow backwards. There's no way that arrow is going to go forward unless you pull it back. And what happens after you pull it back, it gets propelled forward. It goes forward and further than it ever would have if it never went backwards. So we have two different ways to look at these moments in our journey. Those setbacks. It could be that redirection you need to correctly map out your path. And maybe it can be what you need to propel you forward in a way that you couldn't do without first having to move backwards. And that step back, or better yet, that setback, is preparing you to fly further in your future. And this is something that we talk about an endless amount on this podcast. But during these moments in your past, when you were experiencing those setbacks, while you were in it, it's hard. It takes its toll on you, right? It's not a good feeling, and it's definitely not fun. But when you look back at it 5, 10 years, 15 years down the road, after you came out on the other side of it, you look and say, I hated going through that moment, but there's no way in hell I will wish away all the lessons I learned from that moment. No way I would take away all the ways I've grown from it, from who I've become. Those lessons are the things the universe gives you so that it can propel you. So instead of looking at it as a setback, look at it as a new lesson that the universe is giving you so that you can make a shift in your life so you can change the path you're currently on. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode, and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get back to it. And really what it mostly boils down to is what you focus on the most. Ask yourself this question. What am I focusing on? When you go through your day, are you focusing on all the things you're afraid of all the things you don't want to happen, of all the negative things you see or feel? And I talk about this all the time, but you better believe if you only focus on all the things you don't want, if you only focus on all the things you're afraid of, you will attract those things into your life. Our brains are like magnets. We attract what we focus on. You will get what you focus on. Now, there's an analogy I like to use that is it's applied in race car driving. And they say, don't focus on the crash. Don't focus on the crash. Meaning, in the sport of car racing, there will no doubt be a crash, right? That's almost inevitable depending on the kind of race. And race car drivers who are close to a crash, they don't even look at it. They literally look past it. And they do this because if they look at that crash in front of them and focus on it, they will start to drift towards it. Their focus brings them closer to the crash, closer to disaster, closer to failing. So what are you focusing on? The bad? The things you're afraid of? Your insecurities? All your fears? Or are you looking at the place you want to be? Your vision? The life you want to create for yourself? Are you looking at all the ways you can accomplish your goals? When you play basketball, are you looking down at the ball in your hands? Or are you looking at the basket where you want the ball to go? You don't look at the ball in your hands and only focus on the fact that it's not actually in the basket. No, you look at the basket and you take your shot. So if you're trying to create the life you want, shouldn't you look at your goals and take your shot? So what do you focus on the most? And I can't stress enough how important it is to ask yourself that question. Imagine this. Imagine how it would feel if you never worried about something going wrong. How do you think that would feel? How weird would that feel? If you never actually worried about anything going wrong, you just believe that God or the universe or the own power of yourself, whatever you believe in, is going to make it happen. It's going to get that bill paid. It's going to create that business. It's going to bring you that relationship. It's going to provide you with all the things you need, the children you want, the finances you want. And you believe that it's just going to happen. What if you woke up every day with that kind of confidence that I'm going to get what I want? The reason why I'm going to get what I want is because I wake up, I write my goals down, and I focus on them. Because how could I hit my goals if I'm not looking, if I'm not focusing on them? What if you walk through life that way? How much negativity could you possibly attract to yourself? Now, I'm not saying that negative things won't happen in life. Life is life. Life isn't fair. We all know that. But we also know that we will attract the things we focus on. And if you focus on how things will go wrong, things will go wrong. And yes, I get it. Is it possible to never worry? Is that realistic? Yes, it probably is. But consider the alternative. Consider the way we've been living our lives, right? Consider the way we've been living our lives, what we've been focusing on, and how we continue to focus on the wrong things. So I'll leave you with this, and this is a guarantee. If you put all of your energy on your goals, if you write them out, if you put energy and focus on them and focus on it because you believe that this is where you were going, and if you put all your energy into that thing, you will get it. I guarantee you that it might not be the exact version of what you're going for, but you will accomplish it. And obviously, you know that this won't happen overnight, and it will take some effort. It will take some work. But if you do this and you are consistent with this, you will get what you want. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.